Touchline Football Explained, and again we are back with the second semi-final of the Euro 2020, which is being held in 2021 because of weird circumstances. So it's England versus Denmark. England very close to bringing it home, and Denmark being the second favorite team of everybody after that uncalled incident. So this is a match which is going to decide who is going to go to the finals. So open question to all: how's the outlook of this match?
Who is gonna go
Yes,
first?
if I start with
Yes.
this match, I think we are going to see another exciting match, just like yesterday in the semis. Like yesterday, we were expecting more of a huge score line from Italy, but we were surprised with the tenacity of Spain. So today also we are expecting a good result both from England and Denmark. So Denmark, I have only one word for Denmark in this tournament, that they have been fearless. Obviously, they had a very uncalled for incident, but after that, they have shown their guts. They have played really well, and they have brought out results from their matches, and they really played tactical football in those matches, like not just in with the emotional aspects, but on field also they were really good. And for England, they have been level headed in this tournament. uh, Unlike the previous years of the star-studded English teams, this team is much more compact. They know what they are here for. They are doing their jobs really correctly. They are not hurting themselves, so they are taking paces little by little, and they know the kind of game they want to play, and they are progressing very easily. So from my side, I think this will be really an exciting game for us neutral fans. So let's hope for the best today.
All right. So before we go to the English fan, I just want to ask Cheyenne, as a German fan, how do you feel about this game? Are there anything?
Like,
Is there any revenge you're looking forward to?
yeah, like we have only two chances to save humanity. One Denmark, then Italy. I hope Denmark does it today. Jokes apart, England is I think this is the best squad England has accumulated in last 20 years. I think, or maybe more than that. This is the amount of balance that the team has is don't know what. How can I describe it? There's a recent tweet of Jordan Henderson. Tweet, sorry, a Facebook. I think a Facebook post in which
Facebook post, yeah.
he, yeah, he mentioned Mason Mount and wrote that amazing moment. Thank you, Mason Mount. That was something that was lacking in previous England. Like I saw someone commenting that, can you imagine Rio Ferdinand telling something like that for Gerrard or Lampard, or Terry doing something for Gerrard? That's the thing. There
Yeah.
was a club rivalry before, which is not present right now. That's the thing. There's like a bonding kind of thing. The chemistry is really good. That's the main thing, and every team should have that. And for me, that's the biggest thing that England were lacking. They already always had a proper quality team, but that little bit of edge was lacking. And for Denmark, how they have, like, after they also lost their first two matches. First one was really unfortunate. Second one was Belgium. Beating Belgium is tough, but look at now. Belgium got knocked out, and they're playing in
Yeah.
semi-finals. So the turnaround is something else, and one of the big reasons for their turnaround, I think, is because of Dolberg. Uh, the Poles injury of, I shouldn't say this, but the injury of Poulsen in the last group stage match has become like a boon for the team. Yeah, because after that, Dolberg scored twice in the first game he started, and scored again last match. So he'll be one of the main players to look after today.
Right. Of course, Denmark looks good. Now, I would like to ask the English fan here. And by the way, he was missing yesterday. He's down with fever, but he's still here. He's so dedicated. So I would like to ask him, how he's feeling. Not the
Yeah,
fever though, the match.
thank you. Thank you for having me again. First of all, sorry for my substandard voice due to this fever. So the thing is, yes, I feel well that we have been qualified for such a major tournament after so many years. It feels good. But then again, that voodoo of being knocked out on the particular stages still haunts the team. So I feel it will be a great semi-final, and with the emotional quotient with the likes of Denmark, it's not going to be easy. They have been really, really good since they lost Ericsson. So it's going to be a very, very tough semi-final, and with the spirit they have, it's going to be really tough for England. And as far as England are concerned, as Dotto has already mentioned, that the players are fighting for each other, which were missing in the past few generations. Although they had much, much quality of players, so it's something this particular generation has really inbuilt in themselves. So I'm really looking forward to the semi-final and hope to go through to the next round and not losing
He's
again.
so subtle today. His voice is no energy and no, so like very. It's good. It's good. But now, before we go into the lineups, I would go to head towards Niloy. What was going through your mind yesterday during the penalties?
Yeah, like penalties haven't historically gone well for me. So two penalties, one at the start of the night and one during the morning. It was
Yeah,
actually pretty hectic. I had to skip work today. I was pretty bummed out. Anyway, both those results got my way. So like they came out the way I wanted. So I was obviously pretty happy and like even before the penalties were taken, I think Chiellini switched the sides and he wanted to take the penalties in front of the Italian fans. So Italy did have a slight edge, mental edge over Spain there. So I was feeling that they would win the shootout.
absolutely. Very edgy match and very close match, and that's what we were expecting yesterday. We wanted to go throughout the 120 minutes and then on to the penalties. And now let's head to the lineup. Let's start with Denmark today. This is how Denmark is going to line up. Uh, Thoughts on this particular lineup? It seems they're going for a back three against England.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the go-to formations in this particular tournament, as I have already mentioned, and we had a long discussions probably during the France game, or maybe on another particular big game, maybe on England versus Germany, where we had a discussion that why the teams are getting into three-back system. So we are not going to discuss that, but the thing is, it's very understandable with such quality of defenders you have in the form of Kaya, Christensen, and Vestergaard. You should obviously want to invest all those quality players into a single squad. So that's a good move, and they have been really, really successful in this tournament. So that's particular quality side, and with those two central defensive midfielders, Højbjerg and Delaney, I feel they have not been much appreciated for their work during this Euro. They have been really, really good. They are, I mean, a fair share of their positions or fair share of their praises have been gone to either or their defense or maybe their attackers who have scored a ton of goals. But the thing is, those two midfielders, Delaney and Hoiberg, my goodness, what a game they had. They have been blocking the midfield. They have been going to the wide channels when the likes of their wings of Larsen or Mahil were going to the forward line. So they have covered those spaces. So they must be appreciated. So it's not going to be an easy game again. I mean, it's going to be such a semi-final.
Absolutely. Let's head down to the England lineup. This is how the three lines are going to. Uh, Looks like a 4-2-3-1, which Shine was talking about a few moments ago when he was here. Uh, Anything
Yes.
unusual in this lineup?
No, it's quite expected. Like they want to go with one more offensive player for the balance. They want to balance the attack. Like I personally thought they will go with the back three, to counter the two wingbacks of Denmark on the sides, but I think Southgate wants one more offensive player in the attacking phase. So it's a good lineup. I think they are quite able to. They will be quite able to counter Denmark with this lineup. So I don't think any problem in this lineup. But tactically, I thought a back three would have been better, uh, because you have Shaw, who is performing really well in this tournament in the offensive section as well. So he would have balanced it out. So let's see how it rolls out in the match, because we have seen Denmark being very aggressive from the early moments of the matches, and we have seen two early goals in this tournament from Denmark. So they will be likely to do the same against this England side, and then again England hasn't yet considered in this tournament. So we
Yes.
will see if Denmark scores an early goal, how this England team reacts to that. That will be a question to see.
Absolutely.
And this situation where England hasn't conceded a single goal till now, they are going to play the semi-finals, and that's a record. I think nobody has done that before.
Yes,
Yeah,
the standing record is still five. If they win today without conceding, then it will be a six, and they will set the record again.
okay.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if they actually can do it. I think Shahan is having some technical difficulties, so we'll head to the comment section and let's see what people are saying for today's match. Prakhar is saying, "Go Corona, go." Yes, we have been spitting this for 2 years now almost. It's still here. Exec Godspeed 47 says, "Should Sterling start for England?" He is actually starting for England. Uh, Sterling has been good, I think, but you know what he was facing before the tournament, that he's a pathetic finisher and all those things, but he did step up his game.
Absolutely. And in this particular tournament, he has been one of the best players, not only for England, but particularly in this tournament, he has been one of the best players for around among all the teams. So you should not change your 11, or you should not change your form player, particularly in a
Yeah,
semi-final. So that's gonna not gonna be a good move. So that's why he should start. He should be an automatical start. But you know, if you could ask me on any other day, yes, I would have said in a biased opinion that Marcus Rashford should have started. But with this particular form Sterling is having, there is no second thought that he should start or not.
absolutely. Akash Biswas says, "Welcome back, Coach Nandi. Can we have a show on Saturday for Copa final?"
Of
Uh,
course, we can
all right, let's do it.
at
Saturday it
night.
is
Yeah,
at night. Will be fun. Definitely will be fun. Uh, Prakhar, yes, please. Feasty also says the same thing. Need a show for Copa final as well. Yeah, Euro final, Copa final. These two
yeah,
has will be there.
yeah,
4 a.m. in the morning. Someone
absolutely.
has to take the responsibility to wake me up.
Yeah,
Uh,
nobody's gonna
so,
watch that, so we can do that on the previous night around this particular time.
but 4 a.m. will be fun, I think. But
Yeah, yeah, it will be fun, but I guess it's an Argentina versus Brazil, so people are already shitting in their pants. So I
yeah,
don't know whether
after
they're gonna
so many years, we are going to
yes,
see a
after
proper final
13 or 14
of
years, I guess.
After
these two.
2007, I think the
Seven,
last
yes,
Argentina Brazil final in Copa was in 2007, and
yes, yes,
it didn't go our way, obviously.
yeah.
And
Uh, okay.
so it's after
Uh,
14 years that we are facing Brazil in the finals.
Am I
okay.
audible?
Shubhajit, yes, you're audible. Welcome back, Shan. Shubhajit Ghosh saying Denmark. Okay, so we have a
How
Denmark
to block him? How to
supporter
block
here.
him? Is there any option to block him?
No, no, you don't do that again. Like I'll be in trouble. Last time you blocked someone. Uh, Shubhajit Ghosh is saying, can Denmark beat mighty England? Can Denmark convert those three lions to three cats? What are your answers?
I have a problem with this word called mighty. I mean, in semi-final there is nothing called mighty. In semi-final, every team is equal. So I mean,
Yeah,
you
but
can
then
say
you
that
can't explain it to British people. They have been before they were great, and I don't know how they are great. They are called Great Britain, so mighty England sounds fine with that.
I mean, yeah, of course, with the
Yeah.
rustiness they have always. So I am not going to explain that. But the thing is, in a semi-final, there is nothing called mighty. Both are equals. You can say that I'm being humble, but that's the truth. You can see the semi-final today. I mean, even on the last day, we were thinking that Spain's defense have been
Is
not
it
that
some
good.
kind of a jinx?
No, I'm not you, so I don't do jinx. So the thing
Now,
is, you
see,
can
historically, England has this semi-final voodoo over the
ah
past years.
maybe
They
yes,
can't go over the semi-final line, so
absolutely.
obviously he
That's why
has
I
to
have
be
seen.
humble.
No, no,
Uh,
not
Mundi
that
has to be
way.
humble in this thing.
You are free to think, so you can think whatever you
He
want.
has no
Actually,
other option.
actually, if we see, like, if we go by Euro history, Denmark are the bigger team. England is the
Yeah,
underdog here.
yeah.
Maybe
so it's so the three lions are the underdogs today after not conceding a single goal.
if we will
That's
will see
brilliant.
one Sunday.
Sure.
That stats is something else. Not conceding a single goal. I think that last
Yeah,
it was
that's
Spain that that didn't consider, and that also only in knockout stages.
5 matches.
They considered, yeah, they considered in a group stage. I think Milan.
Yes, probably
Uh,
2008, as far as I remember.
So
Akash
that this is
Vishwas,
something else.
no surprise in the lineups from both the coaches, keeping things simple. Good to see. Thanks, guys. And Prakhar Bhattacharya says, will Feasty keep Messi as his captain if Copa Fantasy happens in final? Big question.
I I think
But
he did it previously. That's why Messi was missing those penalties.
and uh, I know there is no logic behind it, but it happens. So can't really
He had
say anything.
Insigne last night.
Yeah, Insigne last night, Immobile, and pathetic. And that guy is full voodoo. Trust me, guys. He does some
Absolutely,
voodoo crap there. Uh,
absolutely.
all right. Before we get into more comments, guys, keep commenting. We'll be back to it. But then let's head to the dynamics of the game and let's understand the movements or the patterns that we can expect today. Shomoda, if you can show us.
Yes. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes, please go
Yeah,
ahead.
Okay. Let me set it up a bit. Please give me some seconds.
Yeah, no issues. Till then, we'll take some comments here. Nandi, as English England fan, is playing the mind game like Emmy Martinez by saying there is no mighty team in semi. Is it true?
no, absolutely not.
By the way,
I don't think what
yesterday's penalty, Emiliano, it was brilliant.
brilliant. I
yeah.
mean, what he was doing at Arsenal, I don't know. He has wasted 8 or 10 years of professional football, I guess.
No,
Yeah,
no,
he's
that's not the
he's
Yes,
thing. I think he
yes.
went
28
for a
years
loan
old.
spell,
Yeah, he
uh,
went
be-
for loan spell to many a team,
But
but that doesn't mean
why?
but
that.
he wasn't that impressive.
Yeah,
Actually, he
maybe,
is a late bloomer. Like, the
Yeah,
way he performed
even
after Leno was
Lewandowski.
injured, and he,
yeah,
yes, he is a
yeah,
late bloomer. So
Jamie Vardy
he has
story
done
for
pretty well, and
goalkeepers.
Yeah,
yes,
maybe you can say
we
that.
can
But the
say
thing
that.
is,
We can say that.
whenever you show confidence of some people, the it works wonders. So maybe
Exactly.
Arsenal have not been that good on him in those 8 years. I mean, they should have given him uh, at least a season or a chance. I mean, they were shit anyway, so I don't think giving a goalkeeper a chance
yeah.
could have given much more. I mean, they are already
Like,
squandered. So how
the
much?
thing is, like, when he nobody expected Arsenal to sell him after the season he had, and he went
Absolutely,
there at Aston Villa and he actually played better than Leno this season.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely,
and like, I can't remember the last time a goalkeeper, like, Romero was great for us in 2014 World Cup, but I can't remember the last time an Argentina goalkeeper played with such confidence that he has shown. So
Yeah,
like kudos to him for that.
absolutely. Before we go into the dynamics, I just want to say something that if like we as Nandi was saying that why waste so much time? Uh, so my main question is if you want to go for a loan somewhere or like, go anywhere, why not go to a football club? Just go to a professional football club, come to ISL, but why go to Arsenal? It's not a football club, man. But anyway, for all the Arsenal fans, I'm really not
Manila
sorry
is
about it.
Arsenal supporter.
No, 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 no.
Maybe,
Well, I'm not
These
sorry
guys
about
just
it.
tease me. No, no, no.
maybe we have lost two
Uh,
or three viewers right now.
so they should first start watching professional football, man, before they. But anyway, let's head to the dynamics of the game.
Yes.
Chomoda.
So here we are seeing the Danish team in the reds and the English in whites. And to see, I will be starting with the Danish team. So they are lining up with their usual 3-4-2-1 system, and in this system they have been performing really well with the likes of Meili on the left wing back, Hoiberg in the central midfield, and Damsgaard in the roaming areas. So these are the three key players we'll be watching in this match as well. So starting from the defense, if we go with Joachim Meili, he has been performing well, running up and down in these wings, then making the overlapping runs and creating crosses to the strikers. He also gets help from the forwards, the second forwards, who uh, tend to come outside to help him give the underlapping runs. So we might be seeing him as well. So we do remember his assist against Czech Republic. It was a fantastic cross with his outstep to Dolberg. So his link up with Dolberg will be crucial in this match. We will see how Maguire copes up with this link up. We know Maguire is quite a good defender in these situations. He has good aerial abilities to pacify these attacks, and we will be watching how the fullbacks of England and the midfielders pacify Meili in this left side. Because if we go to the German game, you will see then the English team were with the back five system, and in this back five system, uh, Trippier, Kyle Walker, and Phillips. Phillips were at their best to contain Gosens on the left. So since Denmark is with the same setup, I thought they will be doing the same with this 3 versus 1 to nullify their attack. Because if you see, most of the Danish attack is from the left side and from the central areas. So in the German side, once they uh, once they held the Germans in the wings with Luke Shaw and Trippier on both sides, the Germans never had other options. Like they didn't go for other options from the central areas through uh, Cruz, or there was I think it was Gundogan the uh, or the other player. There was
Right.
Yeah.
right. So here here in we will see with in addition to Meili and Janssen on the right, we also have Hoiberg, who is a threat both in the attack and in the defense. We have seen in this tournament for the Danish side, Hoiberg has been an influential player. He has made most of the aggressive passes and most of the aggressive process in this setup. So in this today's match, it will be Hoiberg as well from the central position. We know both Rice and Phillips are well adept, and they have found a good balance in this tournament. So this midfield battle between the English and the Danish, 2 versus 2, will be a treat to watch. We will see how they balances out, like Phillips dropping to cover Melee on the left, and how Rice copes up with it. We know the both the center backs are uh, on their toes to nullify them. Okay, so uh, 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 back five system would have helped against this Denmark side, but we will see how this back four copes up uh, against this attacking Denmark side. The advantage of English is that both the white players Sterling and Saka, they regularly drops down to the midfield to assist the central midfields to overload these sides. So that will be an advantage. And in this situation, a position like Cam, who in which we have Mount, or in the substitution we have Grealish, that can be a game changing position where
Mm,
they will create one-to-one situations, and these central midfielders will be the point to get out to create the attacking threats for English.
Okay.
Absolutely. So looks like an interesting match today here.
it,
Uh,
Mount versus Damsgaard, I think it will be.
yeah.
Okay.
So let's head to the chart of this guy, and
Yeah.
this guy has been brilliant.
For me, I think he's the best player for Denmark along with Mel. He has been brilliant. I really love this guy's play. He's 21 years old and is so mature. He has like for 90, his goal percentage is this. His expected goals is this, but still 70 to 55% is not that bad. But his assist percentile is 85.6% per match, and expected assist is 0.5. Like means 55% means in three matches he will assist at least once or twice. In two matches he'll assist once. So it's really good. Like that's a really good stats. And key passes is 1.7 to key passes, so that shows he's very good in passing the balls. He produces lots of chances for likes of the further rights and runs of Braithwaite and Dolberg. His then his shot creating actions is 3.13. That shows how much good, creatively good he is. The free flowing form of Dolberg is one of the main reason behind the free flowing three goals that Dolberg got in two games is both him and Male. Being
Yeah,
Male been the one been assisting him, and his shots is also one shot per game. That's like he's not that much of a like he'll not make much boxing runs in the box and go for a shot, but he'll create spaces for his forwards. Like any forward would love to have a player like Damsgaard behind.
absolutely. And another player who was faced by a lot of criticism and a lot of hate from, of course, English fans as well. Others, it would be this guy, but he did turn things around. And this guy is
Yeah,
on hot form.
yeah, like I didn't like his performance in the first two matches. He was like, especially in the second match, he was really unimpressive. I saw him in 85th or 86th minute. I saw that Reece James passed him the ball in the box. Reece James made a run in the flank. He was completely unmarked. Sterling had a choice of passing him, but he didn't, and he went inside, and in the end, he tried to do a lot of things by himself and messed up the whole attack, and that could have been very good. Whereas Reese was like that maturity or that what can I say? That decision making was lacking, and this has been the summary of Sterling for whole season. But after that match, he has made a kind of a turnaround. He has he has been good. Obviously, he scored I think two or three goals and assisted once or twice. So that's pretty good uh, for Sterling. He has 88 percentile. Means there's 88% of chance that Sterling will score a goal. Obviously, he's been a big goal threat, and that's why uh, I think he'll score today also.
Yeah, looks like that as well. Uh, Sterling, I'm not a big fan of Sterling. I am been one of the person who has criticized him in his in while he was in City and also in the first couple of matches in England. But then he shoved it onto me. But yeah, that's something that happens in the course of a game. So let's head down to the comment section. And who is missing? Shomoda is missing somehow. All right.
Probably,
Uh,
yeah,
yeah,
he's
he's
back.
back. Uh, let's see what people are saying.
Yeah, I mean, before going down to the comment
Yeah, yeah,
section, one or two things I would like to add about this match is
yeah.
I'm really excited to see how Shaw adapts to this particular game. I mean, he has been so impressive after coming on. Uh, at the start of the tournament, I guess Trippier was playing in the left back, but people got criticized. I mean, he got criticized. I mean, I'm talking about Southgate. So for that
Yeah.
particular move, so then he changed his tactic and chosen for a particular left back who plays on the particular position. Yes, he could have opted for Chilwell. That's another day's debate. But the thing is, the way Shaw has played has been brilliant. Has been absolutely astronomical performance against Germany, even against France, even against Denmark. He was so brilliant, getting crosses. I mean, it's like those days. I mean, he's so good. So that's why I would like to see whether how he adapts to this particular team. I mean, who opts for a back three and who has a particular unit that opts for a back five when in the defensive transition. So how against this particular team, this kind of wing play becomes really tough. So that's why I would like to see how he tackles those positional sense and his nitty-gritty runs into those channels and wing space. So I'm really looking forward to that, and that's going to be a really good team. I mean, if you go through the stats in the last match, the right side of Denmark was the most operative in the particular match. I mean, from Larsen's side, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So, and on the other side, Shaw's side was the most operative side as far as the England's game are concerned. So I'm looking for this particular battle today. This is going to be really good. And another thing is, people are not talking about Braithwaite. This guy has been really
Go to
Go to
good.
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you are as you were saying. Yes, he has been really good in this tournament. I mean, I don't know why every place is going for Damper or the likes of Mile. Yes, they are scoring goals maybe, but look at his play, his positional sense. If you remember in the last game,
He's
probably on
like
the
the
second
unsung
goal.
hero. Yeah.
Absolutely, on the last game, on the second goal, which Dolberg kind of got a tap in, or maybe you can say a good finish. Uh, that guy, Braithwaite was taking the run, and that's why he took that particular defender away, and that got the space for Dolberg. And that's why he has not been, and nobody took an eye. I mean, everybody was praising Dolberg, but Braithwaite was doing that particular dirty work, you can say, even as a striker, whose main area of gameplay is onto that particular channels on wide spaces or even on the center forward spaces. So not scoring goals much, but still having so much impact in the game. This guy needs to. I mean, people need to praise him for this particular tournament
Yeah,
in this particular
it reminds me of Oliver Giroud when
of
France won the
France. You
World
can
Cup.
say
He
absolutely,
didn't score
absolutely,
a single goal, and that's why he got a lot of criticism. But once you
absolutely,
Like
see his game
I
properly,
I
absolutely.
was able to find out lots. Oliver Giroud was like a detector for me. I could find the players, people in my friend they who didn't football at all. They were criticizing, and it was got easier for
yeah,
me to unfriend them.
Absolutely. I mean, if you can't praise that particular performances, you don't deserve to watch this game. That's what this game is all about. This game is not about who is scoring goals. This game is all
exactly.
about that particular player who is having his sweat and blood for the particular team. So you have to appreciate each and every performance.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, I would. Yeah,
sticking
go
to
ahead,
that,
please.
sticking to that, I think under this system it is for those withdrawal forwards, in both the sides, both Damsgaard and Braithwaite or Poulsen if he was there. It was their job to pull the defenders out of their line to create spaces for the striker for the crosses from the both side. And in this system, as we have discussed with Nondi, if you remember, like if both the fullbacks are attacking, there is a space in the wide areas behind them. They will be like the system. The Danish team is now, they are quite ultra attacking. So both Delaney and Hoiberg is moving forward. So there will be a great space between the central midfielder and their uh, central backs. So England will be utilizing that space. Kane, he wants to drop and take the ball and create the chances. We will see that. Even if you see the second goal that De Bruyne scored against this side, it was
Hmm.
from the wide area. Like the Danish team went into back four, but still they considered a lot of space in the wide areas. So uh, England will be utilizing that wide spaces. I think Luke Shaw on one side will be tasked to contain the right wing backs, and again in the counter he will be racing through the channels to create those spaces. And the one of the main positive for England in this tournament and in this match will be their bench strength. Like if
Yes.
something is going south, England team has that bench strength to bring Grealish or Sancho or uh, you know our
Rashford.
sorry, Rashford.
How are you forgetting his name, bro?
Rashford.
He's a United fan.
Yeah, I have that short time memory loss. So they do have the bench strength to change the tactics, and let's see if Shaw can deliver the expected performance from him.
Absolutely.
Ben strength
And
also
I would
did
like to
wonders for Italy as well, right? Yeah, Nila, go ahead.
add something about how both these teams are lining up. Uh, the last match, like in the quarters, was the first time both teams a bit both teams strayed a bit from their usual positional formation, right? Because uh, against Ukraine, probably England played their most attacking game, and sort of like Declan Rice was dropping between the center backs, and it sort of was a 3-3-1-3 formation for them. Like the fullbacks playing alongside the central midfielder there, like alongside Phillips. So uh, like I personally think England might go with the same approach today, because uh, Denmark are even more so an attacking team than Ukraine, and like just an upgraded version of Ukraine. And even for Ukraine, I would like to extend this question to other panelists here. Uh,
Yeah, sure.
in the other games, we saw that Christensen was moving into midfield and like forming a trio with Hoiberg and Delaney, and at times even releasing Delaney to go upwards and make those runs inside the box. But against Czech Republic, they took a more pragmatic approach. Christensen held his position while uh, Hoiberg and Delaney were the ones to that, like they took turns in making runs inside the box. Like we couldn't see both of them making runs inside the box at the same time. That would be obviously a hazard defensively. So, like
Yeah.
any reason for that, why Christensen stopped, going into midfield and forming that run? Rather than that, he chose to stay back with the other two centre backs and keep the back three stable.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one reason. I mean, possibly they want to operate their game through the wings only. I mean, they just want to keep a simple game of playing those crosses from the right side or left side, and making those wing backs play more into this particular game. So possibly that was the only reason they have not. I mean, Christensen was not that higher up the pitch as you mentioned, and also the
Still,
thing
but
is,
Christensen was making lots of.
yeah,
Still, he was
you
making
are
a lots of
keeping that.
making
Yes,
runs in the
yes.
midfield.
And if you remember when those particular fullbacks from both the flanks were going up, Hoiberg and Delaney were going. I mean, they were spreading and they were mitigating those wide spaces. So that means they are again going into those 3+2 or a 5 at the back formation. I mean, mitigating those white spaces. So that's how they are. And even another thing is Damsgaard and Braithwaite both have been really good. That's why I am said that they must be appreciated, and they both are coming down while during the defensive phases. If you remember that only their striker Dolberg was staying up, and during the defensive transitions, both the wing players or the wide forwards were attacking into their particular wide side of the channel, and was trying to create a particular triangle with their defensive midfielder and their fullback. So that's what I mentioned, that Luke Shaw can get trapped into that particular zone of a 3 versus 1, and that's where the triangles with the likes of his closest particular midfielder or maybe the likes of Starling of making. I mean, it's about 3 versus 3, and whoever wins those small triangles wins the game. I mean, that's how we're gonna win those particular channels. And on the central defensive zone, there I don't think there are much of a space. Both the teams are shutting down. I mean, both are opting for two central defensive midfielders. So it's gonna be a game of who wins those short areas.
So when you
Yes,
have a short
if
areas,
if
yeah,
if Grealish is coming down from the benches, I think they can crack those areas, and we will also see how the managers change in game, change the
absolutely.
tactics in game.
But the
Like
thing about Grealish is that Southgate doesn't feel Grealish in the position of Mount. Like he doesn't subs in him as a attacking midfielder. He like puts him as a false winger or an inverted winger, not like in that position.
Yeah,
yes,
Grealish's responsibility mainly in England has been to support those runs, support those runs for Shaw. Shaw makes those
yes.
runs, and he plays in a way, takes a position in a way that Shaw can pass him the ball. It's easier for Shaw to play off him, so he takes up that kind of role for England.
absolutely, and that's why I mentioned the last day when I was covering the England match that Shaw and the kind of a partnership Shaw and Rashford have. Whenever Rashford gets the ball, Shaw just makes those blind runs into those white spaces, and he knows that Rashford will somehow deliver a ball and for him to deliver something into the box. But Sterling never does that. Sterling always looks for those. I mean, he's a bit of a, you can
Cuttings.
say that he's a bit of a selfish at times. Like he likes to score and looks for those options directly into the goal
Is he
rather than
selfish or
going into the
stupid?
void. I mean, I don't think that's a good word to use in this particular tournament and for a player
But
who scored three
credit
goals.
where it's due, like Sterling gave a peach of a pass to Kane last day against England, against
Yeah,
Ukraine.
yeah, of course he
That
did,
was
of
a
course he
like
did. But
phenomenal pass.
of course he did. But against Germany, when they were trailing, when the match was 0-0, Sterling never saw. I mean, never looked for Shaw, while Shaw was already on the left spaces, and then Grealish came. Grealish looked for Shaw, and Shaw just delivered a pitch of a cross for Sterling. So that's what you should do in these particular matches. I mean, engaging your fullbacks who are in a phenomenal form.
Is it by chance a City United feud there?
No, you can't say that. I mean, they have been mates. I mean, already we have covered that at the start of the show that there have not
Right.
been that much of a rivalry in this
Yeah.
England camp, and you can see that
Yeah,
on
and the
social
back
media as
four is
well.
full Manchester
Absolutely, full of
City and
Manchester, two
United.
Manchester
So
and two Manchester.
and
Absolutely,
they
and you
have
can
been keeping a clean sheet. So yeah,
absolutely, and you can see that on social media as well. That Foden, the likes of Phil Foden, Rashford.
yeah.
I mean, players from the rival team are having glary sun on the jacuzzi or something like that. So that's what that's what the bonding of this team is.
Right, so let's head to the comments. There are a couple of a lot of comments here. So we'll just get through them quickly here. Uh, Considering the trophy is already in Wembley, can we see it staying at home versus it's coming to Rome on Sunday? That would be fun, in my opinion. Of course,
I
having
think
two big
it's
teams in the final would be, from a neutral perspective, it would be entertaining.
Denmark and Italy are fighting for humanity.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think whether I should speak this in live channel or not, but
No, you go ahead.
being a German fan and speaking about humanity is a bit, I mean, it's not good.
Okay, I should have understood where you're going at. But yeah, I'll just ignore this and we just go forward because I don't want people to track my location,
Yeah,
and
and that can go a bit political as well. And we are here only for
yeah,
football, so we don't want to discuss that. That was
and
a light joke.
footballers and politics
And
goes hand in hand if you live in India. But
yeah,
then,
it
yeah,
goes. Yeah, it
where
Like
goes.
is
everywhere
Feisty
actually,
Uchiha?
football and
But football unites us, and
And
football
Latin
can
America is the peak hub of it when it comes to politics and football.
absolutely, absolutely. And football has this power to stop these kind of things, and football
Yeah,
has the power
actually.
to stop hate.
like actually football and politics has been hand in hand in everywhere, even in Germany, like if we look at how East Germany and West Germany was both played football, a lot of
Yeah,
political influence there, and the way they reunified the political influence even after that, like there has
Absolutely,
been no big teams for East Germany or any big players from
absolutely.
East Germany,
Coming
so
from East
yeah.
Germany,
When
absolutely,
Lothar
politics has
Matthäus
always
came in,
influenced
he
football.
faced the same thing.
absolutely.
He
Probably
wasn't
he
from
was the
West.
first footballer coming from East. I mean, first
Yeah,
notable footballer coming from,
Yes,
and then
Matthias
after I
Sammer,
guess Tony
greatest
Cruz.
East
Matthias
German
Sammer, yeah.
footballer, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Probably the
yeah,
greatest East German player.
yeah.
yeah. Shubhranshu Chakraborty is really is the real deal or someone else is.
It's Mason
But
Mount, man. No one else.
yeah,
Let's
just
see
check
what
his
happens.
crest there. Uh, so let's go ahead. Feast Uchiha says, I don't play fantasy matches where Argentina is included.
Thank you.
Good decision.
Yeah. Facts. Nila is an well-known Arsenal fan. I didn't know that. And Abhishek
I
is a
didn't know that either.
closet closet Arsenal fan. So all right. What I don't know what is a closet Arsenal fan, but if you're associating me with two words, Arsenal and fan together, you have to use a not somewhere. So let's move forward. Shubhajit goes, will Denmark play attacking football today, or they'll try to sit back and go for the counter attacks?
Absolutely, I think Denmark will play attacking football today. I mean, I don't know. I don't know about their coach, what their tactics will be, but it's a semi-final, so you should go for blazing all the guns. I mean,
Yeah.
what if you go for 0-0 and lose in the penalties? All your hard work will go in vain. Rather than that, you try to score during the 90 minutes and play some attacking football. So I guess that should be a feasible option for Denmark as well. I mean, as for also for England too.
Thank you so much, Feisty sir, for not gambling on our favorite footballing nation, Argentina.
Argentina, yeah.
Germany did catch England on the counter but failed to convert. I guess the double pivot is there mainly to cover up their fullbacks, while having a winger up front gonna give Danish fullbacks trouble. What
Even
do you
if I
make of
mean,
this?
as he mentioned that they got him on the counters many a times. Even with the with those particular both central defensive midfielder players, the likes of Phillips and Rice, they were also there in the German game. Still, Germany got a lot of space in those. I mean, during the middle, through the middle rather,
Yeah,
from those three centre backs. I mean, I'm mentioning Kyle Walker as a centre back because he played there. So that's what England should cover up. I mean, and still, I mean, and I also think that as Nila already mentioned that that kind of a 3-3-1-3, that's true. Shaw is going to be up, so that makes a three, and Kyle Walker going to be a bit down, so that makes a three at the back. So it's the same, and and the defenders, I mean, the likes of Stones and Walker should watch for themselves. I mean, during those phases where the fullbacks or where the central defensive covers are up, they need to cover the spaces. Otherwise, I mean, not everyone is going to be as humble as Germany, like they did in that particular match. So that's what I hope they're gonna do well today.
Germany wasn't humble. They had crappy finishing. Germans are never humble. I can say that never. Akash Biswas, excellent Somuda, excellent point that Mount Grealish one. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's why we bought him. He's a bit shy to come into these live appearances, but that's why we bought him with the experiences we have.
Tell me something about Denmark's defensive unit.
One of the best defensive units in Euro. Their back three is really good. All of them, Jair from Jair to Christensen to Vestergaard.
Like we
Three of them are
mentioned
pretty
last
solid.
day also. Yes, and we mentioned last day also, like Kier is a proper defensive leader. He knows how to organize his defense, and Vestergaard and Christensen both have been playing their roles perfectly. And we even predicted last day actually that the fullbacks and central midfielders are going to combine and be involved in both of their goals, and it actually happened. The corner was won from an attack down the right, and then again they scored a goal of the first corner. Delaney scored. His runs into the box counted. He had more shots also on goal, and then again in the next one, Dolberg was again on the end of the cross because of the work put in by Højbjerg and Mail. So it all worked well.
Absolutely.
And like our show, the things we discuss here have actually been coming true in the
Yeah,
matches. So it feels
exactly.
good. It
Yeah,
feels good that what we analyze actually happens in the matches. So it kind of feels good.
yeah, absolutely. Still,
That
we are
that's the
not
reason
being called.
it's one of the best shows in the world. Uh,
Yeah,
that's too much, but
with
yeah,
lesser views, I guess.
with lesser views but solid viewers, loyal
Absolutely,
viewers.
absolutely.
Uh,
Absolutely.
Prakhar Bhattacharya says, "Buke আমার গরম রক্ত, আমি সাউথগেটের চরম ভক্ত." So these are the things that happens in this show, man. Akash Biswas, it's not staying at home. It's also not coming to Rome. Captain Jair will lift the trophy. Two consecutive unpredictable Euro champions we will get.
Maybe. Let's see what
Maybe.
happens.
Yeah, it will be fun to see that, and it will be good to see Ericsson after that as well. Luke Shaw has been one of the most consistent. Yeah, please go ahead.
No, no, no. I was just saying, like, Casper Schmeichel can repeat his father's trophy
Legacy, yes,
winning again
absolutely.
legacy. Like he did it with Leicester once. Now,
Yeah,
if he does it with Denmark again, it will be like wondrous.
absolutely.
That makes me feel like supporting Denmark for the rest of the tournament.
And you don't
Uh,
have any other option, I guess. So don't
Actually.
make up that you are doing them for fun. So
No, no,
that's your only
absolutely not.
option.
I've been supporting them since the Ericsson incident. Of course, if
Yeah,
they would have faced Germany, I of course would have supported Germany.
and
Luke
also
Shaw
since
has been,
yeah, and also
yeah,
since when Germany have been got out of this tournament, knocked out of this tournament, I guess.
yes, all right. Uh, let's go ahead. Luke Shaw has been one of the most consistent players since the start of the season, and his form is just going on and on and on. Yeah, absolutely. In
Yeah,
my opinion, he has been the best in Premier League in his position. What are your
yeah.
thoughts?
In this particular season, absolutely he was. I mean, if you go through his scoring or assisting charts, people might say, "What has he done? He has scored only one or two assists or something like that." But you should not judge a player with that. I mean, with the way we played, his presence on that particular area has been phenomenal, and many of our attacks have been through that particular channel. As we already mentioned, that the linking up between Rashford and Shaw has been absolutely brilliant to watch. Whenever one of them gets the ball, they have a telepathy. Like whenever Rashford gets the ball, Shaw knows that the ball will be there on the left channel, so he just makes those run, or vice versa. So that's what has been great to watch, and particularly being a Manchester United fan, Shaw's form in this season. Yeah, man, that's really good to see.
I think Shaw always had it in him. Like since his days
Yeah.
under Pochettino at Southampton, he was actually very talented, and we can say that he had a run of bad luck because even in his first season in Manchester United, he was good. He was settling down. He was good, and that time United was also like pretty bad. United was pretty bad back then, and like Mourinho treated him grossly. Like it was gross
And
mistreatment on
and
Mourinho's
before
part.
that, that particular
So
injury, you
like
can see
this is his first
That injury
season.
was pathetic.
Yes,
gross.
double leg break he had. So like this is the first time that he after that he transferred here. This is the first time that United have a good team, and he has a manager that actually puts faith on him instead of throwing him under the bus every time. So it's all working out for him, and I think he's just delivering on the results or on the potential that he actually had.
When we were talking about Emiliano Martinez, this is kind of the same story. I mean, as I already mentioned, that when someone trusts you, it works wonders for you. So, I mean, that's two examples you can see on the likes of Luke Shaw and Emiliano Martinez.
Absolutely.
And Luke Shaw, if he continues, he's just 25 years old.
Yes,
So he
he
has a
can
long
have
way
a
to go.
absolutely good 7 or 8 years or maybe more than that if he stays fit.
Yeah. So he's someone, a Danish fan. Braithwaite for Ballon d'Or. No, I want Lewandowski to win it this time, but looks unlikely. People are running for Jorginho this time out. Maguire just won every single aerial duels he has contested so far. Tucker says, yeah, the
Look at
back
his height,
line
man.
has been solid.
You
And
know,
look at the
this is
size of
one
his
player.
head.
Absolutely, that's
Yeah,
why he's been called the Slavet. You know,
Yeah,
the way he has been criticized when he got his Manchester United debut, and some of the bad performances. I mean, if you go through the last 2 seasons, he was not that bad.
and
Most
bar
of the time,
fights,
yeah, most of the times his partners got him into trouble. If you remember, so
stones.
the way people were going through him, going at him, running a Facebook channel to show that how bad a defender Maguire is. Your apology should not. I mean, your praise should be as loud as your criticism was. So that's what I feel.
there's the apology
Should be
form
that.
for both Maguire and Jorginho.
Yeah, I feel so. Yes, Giorgino has also been very much criticized, but
They
Giorgino
called
has
Sari
also
a
done good.
madman.
Yeah, I mean under Sari he was really good.
Akash Biswas, Portugal was an unexpected champions, brother. After all, they had Eder in the squad, the real hero. You can see what happened to this team while he's dropped from the team. He's not
Yeah,
technically wrong,
yeah, you can
but
say
That's
that.
a
the
that's a good point.
idea behind is very evil.
Yeah.
Uh, Shirupakar says Datta never forget to shine up his heroism.
I'm always a hero.
Absolutely. And he has been sacrificing something for 10 minutes now, and
Yeah.
we thank him for it. Akash Vishwas, heroism, Chelseaism, flexing Chelsea players since day one.
Keep the blue flag flying high.
There is no
Mount
second
for
thought about
Ballon d'Or. Come on, man, Mount, Mount.
Agreed. I'm agreeing with Prakhar.
Oh, so here's Jorginho. Okay, Ballon d'Or for
Yeah,
Jorginho. What right?
I'm agreeing with this one also.
yeah, I mean I mean
He's
Ballon d'Or do not have that much of a value, so you can give it to anyone.
Yeah, actually. But when people see the history books, when like 20 years, 30 years down the line, people are going to see the history books, that particular name actually matters. But they won't actually know that what kind of scams used to happen in this time,
And
unless
and
we have it in the history books and
and
we ban
also
it.
if you if you
But
if you go through the past history, you can see that the likes of Pele, Maradona have never won Ballon d'Or because there was not a rule for the South American players or the non-European players to win the Ballon d'Or. So it's also a scam. I mean, when people from 20 or 30 years after us will see that the likes of how the player Maradona was, they will see how many Ballon d'Ors have they won. They can question us how many Ballon d'Ors have Pele or Maradona have, or maybe the likes of Cruyff. No, sorry, Cruyff, not. The likes of Zico has. Uh, so the thing is, that's what happens when you give much importance to this kind of individual players. Football is not about individualism, it's all about that. I mean, you have to give it to them.
yeah, but like Messi, Ronaldo, Pele, Zico, they already have a big name and they have been consistent for years. But for players you know, like Xavi, Iniesta, even they have been consistent for years, and I feel they deserve something. Even as a maybe I feel maybe I'm being biased, but Frank Ribery actually deserved to win the Ballon d'Or when he was nominated. So he won everything there is to win, and he was also the European Player of the Year. So I don't know how that panned out, and also for the goalkeeper. But then, yeah, let's quickly finish it. It's already 12 minutes past 12. Uh, Shobhajit Ghosh saying, okay, Ballon d'Or for every Chelsea player, especially Kepa, the coach come player. Coach
That
D
spelling of
or will
calm is
be
giving me anxiety.
change. Will Prakhar appear on screen in the final? Absolutely. Prakhar will be the host or the special guest appearance on the final day. Last comment of the day, Akash Biswas for Ballon d'Or. I think we all can wholeheartedly agree to this, that he should win the Ballon d'Or, and we'll be
And
voting him
Arijit Nandi
just
for Manager of the Year.
absolutely, just like Sri Lanka voted for Trent Alexander-Arnold for the Ballon d'Or position. But then, yeah. Last comment of the day, Ribery deserved it in 2013. Yes, Lewandowski was robbed last year. Yes, again. But yeah,
Schneider deserved
this is
in
something.
2010.
Yes,
Absolutely,
Schneider
that's
as
what I
well.
was about to say.
So Ballon d'Or is a scam, but either we have to get this sorted, that players who deserve it get it, or we should like preach it to the young generation that it's a scam. Just don't
Thing
mess
is,
with it.
you can't fairly give out Ballon d'Or because it's based on voting, and whenever there's
Yeah,
voting in something, it tends to be biased and tends to be based on image rather than stats. And even football still hasn't developed enough to to give up specific parameter to judge all position of players. You can't, even in this day in 2021, you can't compare if a center back had a better season than a striker. So like
Absolutely.
you can't correctly judge if a player even had a great season.
Absolutely. I still wonder how Cannavaro won it in 2006. I mean, having this kind of a bias vote towards the goal scorers. That's
no,
what
he was a part of a big team. He was part of
he,
a
he-
good
Yeah,
and
like
reputed national team. He was
and
famous.
absolutely I mean, his performances were phenomenal. I mean, I still remember that
Yeah, of course.
Germans were saying him. I mean, he has given the nickname of Berlin Wall. So that speaks the volume of his performances he had in 2006.
still, like there were better Italian defenders that didn't win the Ballon d'Or and he did. So the Ballon d'Or in that aspect doesn't have that much of a value that people make it to be. So
All right, time for the predictions. Let's quickly. We'll end it in a minute. So predictions. Let's start with Niloy today.
I would say 2-1 for England.
2-1 for England. All right, close enough. Shaun,
3-2 for Denmark.
3-2 for Denmark. All right, Shomada,
2-0 England.
2-0. Now the English fan.
Uh,
5-0.
Maybe 3-1 for England.
3-1 for England. All right. Uh, I'd say I will also go for I'll go for 1-1, or anytime it's a draw again. I want some penalties. Yeah,
You
Shine.
you have some
Yeah,
certain orgasm for penalties. I feel. I mean, in every show you talk about penalties. So I guess you just
I
know penalties should
love
win.
it. I love
If
it.
it goes to
Love it. Love
penalties,
the
I'm
action.
gonna be late for office again tomorrow.
Absolutely, and that's what I don't want to be.
Yes, again we have to
Uh,
see how England reacts if they concede a goal
yeah.
late in this tournament. Like if they consider early goal, I'm not confident that they will be coming back very easily. Like Denmark won't give up their defense to for England to come and score the goal. So it will be tough. But on the other hand, if the English team finds one goal, they will open up the gates. I think, like it might be a two goal or maybe more than that. So there is a possibility. Let's see,
Yeah.
but hopefully it will be 2-0 because this is a semi-final. Everybody will be very alert on their side. Yesterday also we thought there will be lots of goals, but the scoring was quite low.
So let's see what happens. Let's quickly go through the viewers' predictions. England 3-0.
Wow, we are
Denmark.
missing.
England 2-0 Denmark. Sterling scoring a brace.
I mean, he's not scoring today. That means
Right. So, and oh, Akash already said, shit man, Sterling is gone. Okay. Uh, Akash Viswas 2-0 for England, another clean sheet. Shubhajit Ghosh, same prediction as our average here, 2-1 for Denmark. And Akash Viswas, may Harry Kane save the day. All right. Let's
Why
see
is
who
there any news
wins.
for Sterling?
no,
Why
no.
is he saying
That
he's
No,
that
gone?
that's an
he's
insider
gone
joke.
because, yeah, he's gone because Feasty has said that Sterling is going to score a brace.
Oh,
And
achha.
yesterday
Jinxing.
he said that, yeah, he no, 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 no. It happens. It's a
Yeah,
proper
every
thing.
time.
Yes, Yesterday, he said Immobile is going to score a brace. He was subbed off. So this is how things work here.
That
Uh,
would be
all right, guys, it's time to wrap up. It's been 1 hour 5 minutes. Thank you for all the viewers to sticking around for such a long time. We did start early today, and 12 minutes to kick off. All right, so for all the viewers, we already know it's a semi-final, but I'll say it again. This is in collaboration with the Tactics Show and Stat Attack. If you want proper analysis, movements, dynamics, and infographic things about football, particular teams or particular players, Tactics Show is the place to go to, and the link is in the description below. Do go and check them out. And if you want kick-ass stats, proper heat maps, and pie charts, and the charts that we use in this particular show, they are all made by Stat Attack. So if you want more of this, head down to the Twitter handle, and of course, the link is given in the description. Go and follow them, and we'll see you in the next one in the final, and maybe in the Copa final as well. So, looking forward to more of this also when the season comes in. So, till then, we'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the match. Bye bye.